Greetings, people of the world. Matthew back with you for the start of another quest here in White Knight Chronicles 2. And today I'm taking on a solo run of a quest that I really have come to enjoy because it's a really good challenge. And we're doing the quest known as Seasonal Travel, and we're doing it as Seasonal Travel 2, which is the hard mode. And so basically, this is very straightforward. All you gotta do is beat up all these various elemental fishes. I call them that because they look like fishes. You kill them all off in each of the 4 seasons, and every time you do so, one of the 4 elemental lords will appear, and you have to defeat all 4 of the elemental lords in order to complete the quest. So that's basically what's entailed here, and there's really nothing more straightforward than that. Just kill off the 4 bosses and you win the quest. So now, we just get rid of him. And what you don't want to do is take on the fire elementals, which Caesar apparently wants to be doing for some reason, and I don't know why. But he better back off, and so you really better do the same, or else what's going to happen, if that fire elemental gets killed off, we're going to end up getting surrounded by Vespids, and there are going to be a lot more of the elemental fishes that we're going to have to deal with. And that's something we don't want to have happen. So we need to distance ourselves from that fire elemental and kill only the fishes. Or else we're going to be wasting a lot more time here than we should be. So this is pretty straightforward, as I said. And the purpose of this quest, if you're able to get it, is to get the 4 elemental items. Each of them are corresponding to the 4 elements: earth, fire, wind, and water. And so each of the quests, or each of the seasons, has their own particular elemental. So here in the summer we have the fire elementals, and also in winter we have the ice elementals, in spring we have the wind elementals, and in fall we have the earth elementals. And so we kill off each of them and get the, hopefully, if it's either dropped by the elemental lords or won as part of rewards for beating the quest by S ranking it, we can get one of the 4 elemental items, which are Asmium, Windolt, Flemron, and Wolterine. And I'm looking to get the Windolt. That's what I'm seeking to get out of this particular quest. And that will be gotten in the final season that I'm going to be going to, which is spring. So just gotta complete both sides of the particular season here in the Lost Forest, which is the setting for this quest. And so that's basically what you gotta do. You go down both paths of each season in the Lost Forest, kill off all the flying fishes, and then go and kill off the elemental lord. But I'm not going to show you everything here in Seasonal Travel because what I'm showing you now is basically going to be repeated for each of the other 3 seasons that I do, and each of the 3 other bosses that I go and face. So it would be redundant for me to show you everything that I do. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to show you basically one full season, and then I'm going to show you myself fighting the 3 remaining elemental lords when I get to them. So just come around to the other side, to the second path here in summer. And wind our way around. Across this beautiful little log bridge. And now we fight some more elemental fishes. Hey Caesar, how are ya? Now you go down. That's a lot of piercing going on. Well, it's like getting crushed by an icy bed of nails or something. So this should be the last one. Okay, so I think I'm going the wrong way here. Oh, wait, hold on a second. No, I'm not going the wrong way. They didn't indicate that the Elemental Lord had appeared yet, so no, I haven't completed summer. There's still more over here. I completely forgot about these guys. Yeah, talking about summer here, yeah, it's actually, it's in the middle of May, but it's already over 25 Celsius around here in southern Canada, so yeah, I'm not really all that happy about it. But apparently it's supposed to start getting cooler by midweek, and it's supposed to get back down to normal where it should be, but not before we end up getting some massive rainstorms, and they're part of that long chain of storms that's included people in the American Midwest getting hit with tornadoes again. So just wind my way through here, make sure I don't take the wrong path, because this is the Lost Forest and the name is well implied, because you can get lost here, especially if you're new to this game. Take out all the bad guys. Now they're out of the way. Should be close to getting this done with. Alright, there we go. Now the Elemental Lord of Summer has appeared. Yeah, that took a little longer than it should have, I guess. But we got it. So now we have to go back all the way down to the far end of this path, because that's where he is. The Elemental Lord of Summer, so means going backtracking through a lot of the areas that I've already gone through, walking by that fire elemental that Caesar and Yuli decided they wanted to pick a fight against. And if you're wondering what those blue lamps were, that's one of the two entrances to Faria. Well, but after the context of the storyline, that's the only entrance into Faria, which is a shame, because I really wish they had allowed you to be able to get into both entrances, to utilize both entrances following the plot implications that were used. So just getting my way around through the tunnel here. And there's the first of the Elemental Lords. This is Ifrit, and he's the Fire Elemental Lord, and so we're gonna have to try and cool him down. Now if you're using the mage like I am, you want to get your magic boosted, and you also want to take advantage of his elemental weakness, which is the water, so use Inundation or Concoctious Flood as well, will also work here. Concoctious Flood is the group-oriented big damage attack for Ice Elemental. So basically just start wearing this thing down. He's a big floating guy, and I don't know why they designed him like that, but all of the elemental-oriented monsters in this game can float. That includes the, as I mentioned before, the flying elemental fishes, as well as the, which you saw, the Ifrit is able to summon some of those elemental fishes, so get rid of them quickly, because they can just get in the way of you focusing on the main target, which is Ifrit here. So, just wear him down, and also reapply the magic boost and also the elemental weakness as many times as it takes in order to bring him down. I imagine that we may have to go and try and recharge my MP, because he's only halfway through, it looks like, and I haven't gotten, and I've already burned through more than half of my magic. So yeah, he's definitely targeted me, because as I mentioned before in some of my other quests, when you're going with a run through with your NPCs through a quest, they will almost always target you because you caused most damage, therefore you're recognized as the biggest threat. So you've got to keep your wits about you in that regard, and hope that you're fast enough to heal yourself, and if you can't, hope that one of your NPCs will do it for you. So, we're getting close to the end on Ifrit here, he's almost down. Should be close to the end, I would hope. Get that little extra bit of extra Ice Elemental magic pass. Just make it a little bit stronger. Thank you, Yuli, for having my back. Come on, baby. There he goes. He's gone. And with that, Ifrit is defeated. So that's 1 down, 3 to go. And as I mentioned before, I won't show you me going through the remaining 3 locations because it would just be redundant to show you that. So I'll be back with you when I get to the next Elemental Lord in the next season. So stick around and I'll be right back. Alright, so yeah, there's the Elemental Lord of Autumn. There's Behemoth, or as they call him in Europe, Behemoth. And so he is the Earth-oriented Elemental. And so we're going to take him down, but not before I refuel my MP, because I'm going to need to. And I'm burning through a lot of MP in this quest. You can do this quest as well with swords and axes and long swords as well. In fact, in order to be able to get to the point where I could start wearing mage armor, the stuff that I wanted, I had to use swords, long swords, axes in order to beat quests like this, in order to get what it is that I sought. So we're going to slow him down, and then we're going to make him weak to what he's already weak to, which is wind, but we're going to make him even weaker to it. And the wind elementals are also electrically charged attacks, so there's that as well. So they're two-pronged. Both wind and thunder attacks are incorporated into wind elemental. And so final apocalypse, the little fishes, which in this case are called gnomes. Yeah, those who are not familiar with gnomes, if you're familiar with the kibbles in this game, that's what gnomes in real life look like. Not sure why they call them gnomes in this particular game, and Caesar is hurting for health, but thankfully Yuli's got his back. Which is good too, because there's going to be a lot of need to watch our backs in this quest, especially with Behemoth or Behemoth raining meteors down on my head, and Yuli's head for that matter, since she's standing so close to me. And given the position I'm currently at, it almost makes it look with the targeting locator that it's given Behemoth slash Behemoth a set of freaky eyes. Are you kidding me? Did he just paralyze me? Good thing Yuli had a panacea. At least I think that was her that used it. But yeah, that was unexpected. Good thing to know that your allies always have your back in these kinds of quests when you're doing solo runs. Of course, if you've played the White Knight Chronicles 1 disc, not White Knight 1 within the White Knight 2 disc, but if you played the actual White Knight 1 disc, you'll know that when you went to do a solo run of a quest, you literally were on your own. You did not have your NPCs to accompany you. And I'm just getting pounded here. I can pretty much assure you, my avatar will be possessing quite a heavy concussion when this is all said and done. Here comes another one. Boom. Yeah, that's quite some concussive force coming from Behemoth slash Behemoth. And here comes some more. Yeah, I kill him and then he gets in a parting shot. Well, we got him anyway, so we're halfway through. So next up is going to be winter, and so I'm going to skip to the point where I fight the next Elemental Lord, and I'll see you when I get there. Okay, so we're close to the end here for the winter season. Getting rid of all the remoras. And just thinking about the word remora, I know what it refers to because I've heard it referenced in a cartoon. And it was quite hilarious because of the way that they were using it in the context of this particular cartoon of what a remora was. I'm going to try to stay focused here so I can take a crack out of the Kraken. But yeah, this is the Ice Elemental Lord, and so we gotta try and roast him. But yeah, getting back to why I find Remora, the name Remora, so funny. The cartoon it was being used to reference, it mentioned how Remoras are basically symbiotic creatures that live underwater, and I can't remember if they're little aquatic creatures that attach to larger creatures, most notably sharks, and they basically work symbiotically with them. And so, someone mentioned in this cartoon that the big Remoras were known as shark suckers, and then someone else asked, "Are we the sharks or the suckers?" And then it was used in a hilarious way towards the end that someone said, "She's the shark and we're the suckers." I don't know if you can find it on YouTube because that particular cartoon is a Disney cartoon, and I don't think Disney would be all that happy to know that their content is on YouTube. But yeah, if I could ever find that, I'll hopefully post it, and hopefully you'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's another one of those fringe interest things that I'm into because of my autism. But yeah, so I'm gonna need to try and siphon off some energy off the Kraken here because, yeah, we're getting low on HP, and if I get killed off, we're starting over. And I'll have been disqualified, and I don't want that. But yeah, I need to siphon off some MP from the Kraken. But I've also heard it pronounced Kraken as well. In fact, I originally heard it pronounced as Kraken. So, I don't know which pronunciation is necessarily correct. So, if anyone knows out there what the correct pronunciation is it Kraken or is it Kraken, comment and let me know. We should be getting close to beating this guy. Him and his big muscular blue body that floats around in midair. So make sure he's well done. There he goes, he's gone. And so I'm gonna head to the final season now, which is spring. But if you're familiar with this quest, you'll notice I went the wrong way. There's a reason for that, and the reason is that I'm going to take a shortcut. And you'll see why when I get there. This is going to be the only time where I actually show myself going to a particular location before I cut off to show you me taking on the final Elemental Lord. So it entails going this direction, back into the autumn season, getting right here, and we're going to go to underneath this waterfall. And then when we get to a particular location, and that should be right there, with this little shiny spot. You click on it, and this will take you back to start. And this works for all 4 of the seasons. There's particular locations where they have different shiny spots. And so I'm basically going to use this to shortcut to the spring. And then this is going to put me in the most optimum position to start taking out the fishes and getting myself the Elemental Lord as fast as possible. So I'm going to start doing away with these guys, and then I'll be back with the final Elemental Lord, so don't go away. Alright, so now, the Elemental Lord of Spring has appeared. It's the last one left, and we're about to go take him down. So the final Elemental Lord is known as Rudra. And that's quite a funky name. I don't know, I think it's Russian in origin, not really sure about that, but as you can see, he's definitely got some Norwegian in him, because he brought the thunder. It's definitely got the Norse in him. So I gotta try and rock his world, and also kill off his flying fishes, which in this case are, to be honest, I can't remember what they're sylphids. Sylphids are what they're called. Yeah, the little elemental fishes in terms of wind are sylphids. I should have known that. But yeah, I'm just looking to overpower this guy. And it looks like I'm off to a pretty good start so far. Just have to wear this sucker down. And you notice that I'm targeting the core a lot. The reason I'm targeting the core, and you'll also want to target the flotation engine as well. That's, if I remember correctly, that is where you get the likeliest chance of getting the various elemental items that I was referring to. The Windolt, the Wolterine, the Flemmeron, and the Asmium. So, just keep hacking away at the core and the flotation engine, and it'll increase your chances of getting it either through the enemy dropping it, the elemental ward dropping it, or by getting it in a quest reward. Yeah, we're halfway home on Rudra. So just stay on the Earth Elemental magic. Hope that he doesn't shock you too much. We're almost to the end of this. I'm worried about that little butterfly. That's quite a strong butterfly there, but if you're familiar with this game, you'll know why it's there, but in the context of doing the quest, not really a necessity to be using it, because that's an extraction point. So yeah, there it is. Rudra's gone, and the quest ends just like that with a victory. Celebrating as the Big Ugly goes down. So that completes seasonal travel. This is one of the two big quests, as I mentioned, that, along with Lost Legion, which are used to get the elemental items, and I hope we got some in the course of this quest, as part of reward, because we didn't get any from actually fighting the elemental lords. So, collect the money. Yes! We got what we were looking for, which is the Windolt 543. That's what I'm using to enhance one of my pieces of armor, and so that's really great news. So I get to do that. I'll get to enhance it. So thanks very much for watching, everyone, on this video of White Knight Chronicles questing, and I'll see you on the next one. So until next time, everyone, take care, and I'll see you soon.